Let's revive and swatch this vintage Brite nail polish in the shade Lido from 1942. In the bottom corner of this July 1942 sales print, Lido was advertised as a new shade along with Palm Springs, Bronze, and Avalon. I have all of these to revive except for Bronze. Now before we crack it open and start reviving it, I'll turn on the fume extractor. For those wondering what we're calling it, I'm thinking Lucille. A few commenters mentioned that Lucille Ball was a prolific smoker, and I like that Lucille was also a named inanimate object in The Walking Dead, so it fits. Though Fume Smella DeVille was a contender. Now this polish is reading a little red on camera, but it's a true orange. I have a few antique orange polishes, but this one will certainly be the most in-your-face orange of them all. Here it is next to Essie's Not Ready for Bed, which is a neutral red, so you can see how orange Lido truly is, and I think once it's flowing again, it will read as being even brighter. But let's open it up and get started. I'd like to talk about the materials used. The Americans entered World War II in December of 1941, so we see a deviation away from the previously used metal wand. I will not be using the Vortex today since the plastic used is brittle, low-density polyethylene plastic. This plastic was invented in 1933 but didn't get traction until 1939 for commercial use. It became hugely popular in the 40s during the war, and it worked for nail polish wands since it's resistant to most chemicals and could be heat shrunk around thread-bound animal hair bristles. In the 50s, high-density polyethylene was invented, and since then, along with the advent of nylon bristles, these brush components have not really changed. Let's grab my Seche Restore and start rehydrating the polish. Since much of the dried polish is on one side of the bottle, I'm only going to give it enough thinner to rehydrate it on its side, slightly elevated, so that it penetrates the dried polish without leaking into the cap threads. I grabbed a pile of lint-free cotton pillows and adjusted them so that the bottle would be elevated as needed, and since I was leaving it overnight to rest, of course I gave it a blanket. Wakey wakey, it's time to rise. The polish took to the thinner as I hoped it would, but it's still quite thick, so I'm going to stand it up for an hour while I go to Aldi for some snacks. Friday night snacks were procured. If anyone has any good streaming recommendations for this weekend, I'll take them. With thinner, this 1942 orange looks nearly neon. I'm concurrently working on reviving this neon orange Nina polish, and they almost look like dupes for each other. But let's engage Lucille, hopefully without scaring Misha. I'll turn it on slowly, and we'll see if he sticks around. I'm hoping he'll become acclimated to it. It's not as loud as a vacuum, but I could see it being upsetting for a cat if you started at full blast. He's a little concerned, but I think he'll get used to it. Whenever he's wary of something, we affectionately refer to him as Suspicia. But I'm ready to add some more thinner to this. I'm so excited to try it, even though it will surely pull the pink tones out of my complexion. You guys are going to be so proud of me. I finally bought some lab spatulas of an adequate length for stirring. If you've watched my previous revivals, you're watching my evolution from dab sticks to lab sticks, essentially. And I'm loving how the flat end of the spatula is fitting perfectly. Now, while I mix this up and add thinner as needed, I'm going to talk about how I had a bit of a final destination moment yesterday. With the warmer weather now here, I ride my bike everywhere within my city. I only put about 3,000 miles a year on my car since I just love riding my bike so much. So I decided I would go drop off some books that I finished reading at the library and then take out some new books so I can enjoy them with a latte at my favorite local coffee shop. It's my little routine that keeps me from isolating as an introvert without getting too much social interaction, because who bothers someone while they're reading? So I'm out on my bike and I use the road as it's not legal to ride on the sidewalk. I'm very aware when I ride and get over as much as possible, especially when I see vehicles come up from behind in my mirror. But I see a truck coming, pulling a big Caterpillar excavator on a flatbed, and he respectfully goes a little wide to avoid me, but he speeds up considerably to do so. And at that moment, when he's passing and the flatbed is about 6 feet away, on my left, I hear this deafening bang and see the excavator wobble and sway, with dirt and dust in the air around me. I didn't know what happened until the load was ahead of me, but I see the tire that was next to me at the moment of the bang start to shred and fly off. So my brain was able to put together that the tire blew and I was not going to die, but the moment I heard the blow, my brain resorted to that meme from The Simpsons. I'm in danger! As I rolled past him getting out to check the tire, he apologized profusely, and all I could say, not stopping my roll, was, "That was scary!" And that, my friends, is why I self-isolate, because I can't have a social interaction without thinking about how I could do it differently for the rest of my life. And also, those Final Destination promos are getting a bit too immersive, in my opinion. I'm gonna let the polish sit for about an hour or so to dissolve what is stuck on the side. And now I'm back to quickly stir the rest of this up. I've got my swatch hand prepped and ready to go. With this second lab spatula, I'm just gonna scrape the polish back into the bottle. Why the heck didn't I buy these sooner? And before I screw the cap back on, I'm gonna clean the rim a little bit. By the grace of a man who secured his load, and maybe a few other men who have secured their loads, I'm here to swatch this. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to put up with my particular strain of dry humor if you want to watch my videos. This orange is so vibrant and shiny, and I've never seen an orange from the time period be so saturated. I'm going back in for my viewers who would be upset that I missed this spot near my cuticle. I risk it all for you guys. And now we're jumping into the outro because who needs top coat? Not me. This is just insanely beautiful, and somehow it isn't giving me the dreaded pink lobster hands. Of course an orange that works on me is 83 years old, but since this is one of my favorite revivals, I know what I'll be doing this weekend, a dupe quest. But please, let me know your thoughts on this polish, and if you know of any dupes, put them in the comments to assist me on this quest. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to follow along for more.